http://www.cosmicparadigm.com/marks_corner/civilizationoflight.com. Wednesday, August 12, 2009. My story share this. Until 1987, I lived a rather conventional life. The oldest of 5 children, I was raised in a strict Catholic family, went to a Catholic grade school for 2 years and a Catholic boys' high school. I graduated from the University of Colorado with BS degrees in electrical engineering and in marketing. Although my father was strict, I have great memories of him teaching me to fly fish, ice skate, and fly kites. In my younger years, my grandparents were a principal source of encouragement and love. I remembered my grandmother taking me to see movies and my grandfather teaching me to paint and repair things. I spent most of the first half of my business career working for 2 large companies, 3M and Motorola. Before my early mentor, J.S., discovered me, I worked as a sales engineer in 3M's instrument department. During this time, I received my MBA degree from the University of Southern California. Under J, I did market research on a number of new products, including magnetic striped credit cards. At Motorola, I was involved in new business development and the acquisition of businesses. Between 3M and Motorola, I was with a small company, AC&C. We pioneered the currency vendor, ATM, and magnetic stripe credit card reader. During these years I also worked briefly at the Institute for Executive Research, where JB taught affirmations and personal motivation. The second half of my business career was spent in venture capital, where I invested in and had a hand in starting over 50 new enterprises around the United States. As venture capitalists, my partners and I raised pools of money from large institutions and wealthy individuals, and then invested the funds in small startup companies. I achieved a degree of success as a mentor to small businesses, as well as financially. My second son, Kenton, was born during these years. My first son, Christopher, had been born when I was at 3M. In 1987, as I was deeply engaged in my venture capital career, I received my wake-up call from 3 celestials who reminded me why I had incarnated at this time and place. I did not know the details of this until many years later. They gave me the concept of an institute, which I promptly dismissed as I concentrated on venture capital. Until that time, I had not looked much beyond my business career, had read only a little science fiction, used my intuition and foresight for business purposes, and was not a particularly spiritual person. All that changed in 1987 when I began to receive information and insights. My first introduction to the larger picture was the Urantia book with its description of a universe filled with inhabited planets and myriad beings. I devoured it within a few weeks, with the exception of the Jesus papers with which I never became comfortable. My new behavior not lost on my venture capital business partners, who said that I had lost my aggressiveness. You're no longer the eagle with the blood on your beak. In 1996, I left the business world, having extracted myself from the golden handcuffs of status and money, and connected with my wife Heidi. Hoping to understand my awakening, I returned to Regis University to study psychology in a self-directed program that enabled me to explore who I was and where I fit in. In the fall of 1997, my first book, Trillion, spilled out of my computer. I had no lifelong desire to write a book. I was merely expressing myself in story form, although there was a strong hint that the book had something to do with an institute. After 2 professional editors tore the manuscript apart, I dutifully reconstructed my book and I was ready to publish it. I had been informed that it would never get trillion published by a major publisher, had dismissed secondary publishers, and had started my own company to print and promote my book about extraterrestrials who were walking among us. In 2001, I went for a CE5 training session with Stephen Greer and a group of 35 other people, shaking from head to toe with excitement and fear. The first night we were out in the field, I saw 3 UFOs. During the remainder of that week I saw objects every night, including a craft emerge from a nearby mountainside. When I returned home to Trillion, I had only minor touch-ups to do before it was ready for printing. Later I realized how my first book, like my subsequent writing, was strongly influenced by messages I received, and that I was much more interested in the messages than in the physical phenomenon. After Trillion was published, I went on the road to market it. After numerous book signings, radio and television interviews, talks at conferences, and workshops, I now count several hundred people as my friends and fellow travelers. Their stories are too numerous to recount, and I long ago stopped trying to detail and remember each person's particular encounter, sighting, or contact experience. Not that they are not important, but I want to cloud their identities. In 2005 I received an attack from the agents of the dark side. I watched our life savings evaporate within the space of a few weeks. Now, after Decimal and 1 have been published, as well as Birthing a New Civilization, I look back on those books as an introduction to my current efforts with Mark's Corner. As 1 was being finalized, I was approached by a group of beings from Altair who asked me to receive messages and post them on the internet. At first I refused. After a little gentle urging, I began to post messages here at Mark's Corner last September. Subsequently I received messages from other beings. They emphasized the spiritual side of all that I had been writing and teaching, and the oneness of all. Which brings us to this moment. I plan to continue with these postings, which are now being read around the world, and translated into other languages. As for an institute, I think it will manifest itself, just like the messages that have been coming to me. I hope this recounting of my personal transformation will assist others to understand that, if an old business guy like Mark Kimmel can do this, so can I. We are involved with the transformation of the human presence on this planet. Its outcome has implications for the entire universe. I hope all of you reading this message will live in the light, setting and example of someone who walks his or her talk in truth, love, and joy. Mark Kimmel. You may copy and distribute this message, as well as other postings to Mark's Corner, http://www.cosmicparadigm.com/marks_corner/ Please do so in total, preserving all notations, attributions, and announcements. Announcements. On July 28th, I was interviewed by Lauren Gailey. Here is a link to that interview, http://www.blogtalkradio.com/Lauren-Gailey. On August 1st, I was interviewed on Radio America Now, http://radioamericanow.